Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert. This is 7 Up and At It here on the I Said It show. Now, what is 7 Up and At It? 7 Up and At It is simply a daily devotional I do every morning for myself, where I'll focus on a particular verse and I'll look at verses preceding it and I'll look at verses that come after it. I'll also look at different translations so I can get a full context of what God's trying to show us in that verse. And why do I video? It's simply so I can put it back out there. Because here's what I think. I think that we're vessels to be used by God. And what God puts into us, He expects us to put out. And so that others can be blessed by it. So others can learn from it. So others can have a closer walk with God as well. Which is another reason why I do these daily devotions. And finally, why is it called 7 Up and At It? It's called that because it's an homage to my father. I thank you to my father here on earth. Because every morning that he was home and he would come and wake us up, um, it was three knocks on the door would open up, and my dad would say, "It's 7, up and at it." So that's a thank you to my dad. So let's get into it. And the verse today is going to be two verses, and I'll explain it in a minute. How do I find a verse to study? I simply look at whatever today's date is. Today is July 20th, so I look at chapter 7, verse 20. And after I go through every verse, chapter 7, verse 20, I'll look and see which one I feel led to talk about. I'll also flip it and look at chapter 20, verse 7. And what happened today is two verses popped, and I noticed how they correlated together. And so I'm going to use both of them. Now, I don't know if you want to call it creative license, but I'm going to, in using these verses, I want to put it together so you can understand where I'm going with this. Okay, so first let's talk about Matthew 7:20, and all this is going to be out of Amplified today, the Amplified Bible. Okay, and so Matthew 7:20 says, "Therefore, by their fruit you will recognize them as false prophets." Okay, it also says in other verses that you'll know them by their fruits. Okay, now in looking at that, when most people when they say by their fruits, yeah, by their actions, by what they produce. Look at their status. Look at what they've brought. Look at what they do um, for the community, and they look at that as their fruits. I look at their fruits a little different. I look at that, but the other thing I look at is think about a tree, a fruit tree. Okay, and you look at the fruit that that tree provides. If it's good fruit, when you wash it off, clean it, and you bite into it, and it's just one of the best tasting. It's a peach. It's one of the best tasting peaches that you've ever had. That's good fruit. That's a good tree. But then you go to another tree and and you clean it up, clean off that peach, and you go to bite into it, and it's hard as a rock. That's not good fruit. So when I look at know them by their fruits, I also look at their children. Look at their children. How do they act in public? How do they act when talking to adults? Or how are they in school? See, that is and looking at that, it's a microcosm of knowing what kind of person that individual is, man or woman. Okay, just you look at the children and how they act. This is me. I'm just telling you how I do it. Okay, what comes to me. And so to to add to it, I looked at Proverbs 20 verse 7, and it says, "A righteous man who walks with integrity and lives life in accord with his godly beliefs, how blessed, happy, and spiritually secure his children after him who have his example to follow." You take two different individuals and you're trying to figure out which one to follow. Which is the better person for me to allow to lead me? They both have children. And you see the difference in those children. You see how they ran their own house. It's a good indication how they're run their business that you're part of. Yeah, I'm going there. Those two individuals, you see how they run their house. It's a good indication how they run the White House. I know. Look, this is part of the Yeah, I Said It show. And if you want to follow a righteous man, and we talked about righteousness before, doesn't mean he's perfect. Doesn't mean he's going to do everything you're going to like. But to find the measure of a man, look at his children. I know from personal experience. I've been on both sides. And if I could be the half the man my dad is, then my children are going to be blessed. See, a lot of you don't know him. Some of you do. Bobby Watkins is a hard act to follow. And just as my earthly father is a hard act to follow, God is too. Mm, apologize for that. Look, in today's world, there are certain measurements that we have available to us. The world, the mass media will portray individuals. You'll see commercials explaining what type of person an individual is, but get down to the crux of it and look at their fruits. What have they brought to the table? What kind of individuals have they raised? And that's how you'll see a measure of a man. So, folks, the two verses today are Matthew 7:20 and Proverbs 27. Matthew 7:20 says, "Therefore, by their fruit you will recognize them." And Proverbs 27 says, "The righteous man who walks with integrity and lives life in accord with his godly beliefs, how blessed, happy, and spiritually secure are his children after him." Him who they have as their example to follow. Folks, I hope this blessed you, because it really helped me see some things this morning, and it put such a clarity on it that a 2020 vision, and I don't need my glasses to see it. So tell me what you think. Comment if you agree with me or if you don't. Let me know. If you don't want to comment, just give me a thumbs up and let me know whether you agree with me or not. Thumbs down if you don't. That's fine. If you're new here, God bless you for being here. Please go back and look at previous videos that we've done. Talk about those as well. Comment on those. Like, share if you feel the need. Okay? But I appreciate each and every one of you. If you've been here for a while, thank you so much. Your continued viewership helps confirm that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So I greatly appreciate you. Folks, I hope you all have a blessed day. But remember, God has blessed you to be a blessing to others. So please go out and bless somebody else today, because by doing so, you're helping make the world a better place. God bless you all. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.